It is a strange experience to learn all about oneself in a single answer from your heart. This is what I just went through, and it was very enlightening for me. I now know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it is not just for the gods, it is for all. When asked if I would agree to return to my body and do as Bareth asked me to, for a quick moment, I hesitated, because I had to think it through. Why did I have to go back just to help one of the gods? Would I have been forced to do it if I had said no? If Bareth had let me go freely, would I be content in the in-between, and or returning to the wheel for my next life? Then I remembered what I liked about life. Yes, love. Unconditional love for all life. I have it, and just realized it. I am sure most kith have this as well, but they just haven't come to understand themselves yet. Also, this is an energetic time for me, considering my feelings for Shoti. Being happy, living amongst others, content with oneself, full of life, and feeling love for this woman. Yes, all of this is what I mean as an energetic time. Perhaps the confluence of speaking to Aethys and being in this energetic state came together to make me realize why I chose to return. It doesn't make day-to-day decisions any easier, but it does allow one to understand oneself, especially when confronted with the end of the world by a god. My motives are genuinely good, and if it made Aethys stop once, perhaps it will work again to get him to stop what he is doing, if he is intent on destroying Iora. Realizing all this brings a certain amount of peace to my soul. Also, having more of my soul restored has also helped in this. I hope that many of my memories will return to me now. Love. It is the reason we sacrifice for others. It is of prime importance to those who experience it, and once experienced, one will always want to return to it. There is no greater power than I am aware of, and I feel very sorry to those who never feel it. Love is why we wake up in the morning for a new day. Love is everything. I don't know exactly what these totems do, but they seem to summon one of those storm blights each time, but we didn't get into a fight with the Naga. Regardless, Takehu would like to speak to me.
I thought Aethys was too busy kicking over islands to blunt his teeth with mortals.
Takehu scrutinizes me with an unreadable expression.
What say? You must take something from all this idle chatter with the gods.
It is interesting, but Aethys seemed to be more curious about me than I was about him.
And you knew things he did not. Ah.
Takehu bites his thumbnail.
For what does he listen to you, then? The gods I know are tight of lip and hard of hearing.
I think he's actually searching his feelings and needed a mortal perspective.
I could not imagine the inner workings of a god.
He trails off, looking away.
But then, I am not meant to. It is for mortals to flail in the darkness, I say, while gods point us toward light.
I don't really know how to respond to that. Someone needs the power to shape our future. As he weighs my words, Takehu winces a little.
To be worshipped. To have others interpret your design.
Takehu sighs, pulling back his hair.
Such a burden. And mortals demand it so. For what should a god worry about such cares, when theirs is the hand on the tiller?
Takehu spreads his palms and frowns. Are we still talking about Aethys? He pauses, blinking at me with a handful of hair pressed between his fingers.
Kara, I did not wish to burden you. These days I am having to think harder than my pampered years. You will forgive the handsome fish if he is as curious as the green god.
He rubs the back of his neck and chuckles.
At least Aethys has you to keep him in check. What happens when we catch up to him is something for future Takehu to worry about.
He smiles wanly. Yeah, my future self that's going to be destroyed fighting Aethys. I won't worry about that now. It's for my future self to worry about. I'm sorry, but I just can't see life that way. It worries me now. The world around me darkens, and once again I feel an insistent tug for my attention. The pull centering from Takehu's soul. Surrender to this sensation.
Scratch under the wet clay of any artist and you hatch a lifetime of fear and doubt.
Andra props her chin on her fist and studies Takehu with a sigh. Yes, I can easily see what you mean.
My boy doesn't fear the gods. He only fears what he'll compromise by living up to his potential. But isn't it easier to let sculptures represent you? Poor thing. Nothing he does could disappoint me. But that is a mother's prerogative.
She pulls away with a wet, slapping sound. I receive the mental impression of a wink. The world reasserts itself all around me. Takehu wears an uncertain smile, tipping his head inquisitively. Let's be off. Actually, Maya...
I'm listening. Your orders, Captain?
No. Let's be off. Well, let's go upstairs. I take it the Naga have left. Yes, I did want to reach some kind of peace between Kith and Naga. I don't think that was a bad thing. I'm not here to conquer the Deadfire. Huh. So using the Adra is light. It's not destroying it or damaging it. I'm not sure it's hurting it. I think that should be okay. Anyways, let's go back. We have that place to climb up and see if it is anything. That could just be a way of us getting from one point to another, but... And there they go. I do hope I've given them, their people...
Behold, the migration of the Coral Naga.
Something to think about. Okay, so what I think it is... We can go this way. See if we can't climb down. I don't know, my state. Being let down, though, as long as it's not around my injury, but still tugging on muscles connected to the injury.
Captain, I would not interrupt your contemplation, but it is not every day I see someone commune with luminous Adra. Ikera?
Okay, I thought we talked about this.
When the captain goes all starry-eyed like that, the crew starts to ask questions.
Okay, ask away then.
You don't look like you're gonna be sick this time, so I take it that's a good sign?
I can kiss you, Shoti. Well, everyone's looking at me. Aethys is not what I expected. Of this, I know for sure. Takehu frowns thoughtfully.
For what does Aethys keep walking away in the middle of a conversation? Where does he go next?
Aethys is heading to a place called Magran's Teeth. It's notoriously perilous chain of volcanoes.
Adiko, no one ventures into Magran's Teeth. A chain of volcanoes guarded by giants, if the Juana legends are true.
All right then, let's do this.
Shoti cracks her knuckles, eager. Hey, I'm in no hurry to go there. I think there's a lot of other things that we could be doing, and I'm afraid as soon as we rush in there, Aethys will just take all our souls and continue on. So, we'll meet him in Magran's Teeth, but it will be at some future point, not right now. Perhaps when we've learned a little bit more of how to deal with them. I actually should try to speak to Wudica, as much as I don't want to. She may be able to assist in how to deal with Aethys. Okay, rope and grappling hook. Use a grappling hook to climb down. I estimate a difficult climb and a dangerous fall. The stonework feels slick with sea spray and slime moss. I hope we can do this. I know it's unnecessary. I secure my grappling hook under the lip of the wall and easily climb down. Okay. Well. There's only one place to go now. Got to get back over to the storage tower and let them know that it's clear out here. Several of those people inside, especially the Rawatalian soldiers, are scared out of their minds after what they dealt with. Yes. I can't believe that I didn't realize it before, and only when I was confronted by speaking to Aethys did I realize what it really was. What I'm doing all of this for. It's... the gods have asked me. But it's my love of everything, of life. I want to live, I want to see people live. I love Kith. I love life. My life and all others. Strange that it didn't occur to me until he asked me.
I knew they'd run.
Clear skies, Mayarua.
Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they?
She looks up the lighthouse, giddy with relief. You underestimated the dangers here before. It would be unwise to do so again.
Of course.
She nods, but she's still staring up at the lighthouse. Maya cocks her head and listens.
We'll rebuild bigger and better, with reinforced walls and extra cannons. Our engineers will make this place truly impregnable.
I hope so. She finally turns to me.
The Hansanui will want to thank you personally for your help here. And she should also know what we're up against.
She eyes the Dawn Stars and the craterous footprint. The Hansanui, you mean back in Nekataka, right? Where can I find the Hansanui?
She's usually at the Brass Citadel
Yeah.
in Nekataka.
Yeah.
Though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the Queen and the Valians.
Eventually, I'm going to be headed to Magrin's Teeth.
Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies?
She laughs, a brittle edge creeping back into her voice.
The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire. And no one's ever come back from it.
She swallows, fear making hollows of her eyes. Yeah, I don't think we're quite ready for such a venture.
But anything can be overcome.
I agree, anything can. Farewell.
Clear skies.
She crosses her forearms over her chest. I'd like to talk to the settlers. They're praising the foot of Aethys' footprint.
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Unlike the other survivors I've seen, this young man, despite a haggard look and a set of dirt-smeared, tattered clothes, wears a calm face and speaks with a steady voice. Yes, actually, my friend is looking for someone we were told might live around here.
I should be glad to speak to him. Perhaps I can help.
He isn't here. I'll return with him.
I see. Very well. Was there anything else?
No, I'll be on my way.
What did you find, Ishi?
The only way to redemption is through the repentance of body and soul. Oh, there's a body here. Armor. Exceptional leather armor. Interesting.
Will do.
Cannon shot that we can't take with us. We may have already seen that. Look at the footprint here. And the footprint over here. Yeah, Aethys really is huge. I guess we're done here. Let's return to our ship. We do have some bounties to collect. I'm going to have to check over to see what work we have now. But before we really do anything, we should probably go to Nekataka and just relax at the inn. I'm hurt. I hate feeling this way. What? The Royal Deadfire Company is all over here, in the water. The Sango is a mound of wreckage on the horizon, when I see a dozen junks sailing toward me. Even at this distance, I can tell they are making good speed. One of the ships pulls up alongside mine, and a well-dressed Amoa man approaches the edge of the deck. I recognize that Sura, the Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. Timely of you to show up, boss. I was just scribbling down my daily report. Maya folds her arms and nods across the gap. I'm afraid we'll have to wait until I return to the Brass Citadel, he nods at Maya. It is good to see you again. I see you continue to leave your mark. He is gazing towards Hosongo with a peculiar smile. The Adra beacon, visible even here, shines brightly. Though it surprises me that you are still a stranger to many in Nekataka, I suspect that will soon change. How about that job you gave me? Please, let us discuss that another time, when we have the benefit of privacy. He clears his throat. I want to extend the thanks of the Royal Deadfire Company for what you've done here. He raises one hand towards the Adra beacon. You've restored a valuable asset, whether or not that was your intention. He gives me a quick, sly smile. The others at the palace will want to hear of this, no doubt, and you may as well take credit while the deed is fresh. I need to reach the Ashen Maw in Magrin's Teeth. Do you know how? It's as though a cold wind has blown over the deck. At the mention of Magrin's Teeth, the Rautalian sailors stare at me in shock and horror. Those who are not frozen with their mouths agape are whispering fearfully amongst themselves. Atsura silences them with an unreadable glare. He turns back to me with a brittle smile that does not reach his eyes. Forgive my compatriots. Magrin's Teeth is a volcanic chain along the northeastern edge of Deadfire. It is also the most treacherous place in the archipelago. He casts a glance back at the anxious sailors. The waters around it are patrolled by giants said to be born of Magrin's own volcanoes. Even our well-armed ships do not venture there. He tilts his head in apology. But I suspect Queen Anakaza could direct you to the Ashen Maw if you are set on going there. All the more reason to visit her palace, he smiles cryptically. Go to Serpent's Crown in Nekataka, and later, come and see me at the Brass Citadel. We can discuss your progress with issues of mutual interest there, he nods. At any rate, I have much to attend to, and it seems you do as well. Clear skies, Captain Keldon Zatha. Atsura nods as his crew makes ready to sail once more. Well, that went well. We didn't actually explore the island that Hosongo is part of. It's a nice green island, just the kind I like. We'll sail around it, then return to Nekataka. See what there is to see. Little islands off to the west. Royal Deadfire Company ship to the south.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet.
Yes, Bareth.
You have returned to Bareth's realm. Your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death.
You know, I'm starting to look forward to these chats.
You can't be certain, but you think you might see the barest hint of a smile tugging at the edges of the Pallid Knight's lips.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned.
He makes for Magrin's Teeth.
Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you.
It's too much at once.
In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, The bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
God of secrets, revelations, illusions, cryptography, obfuscation, perception, dreams, and visions. Whale is, in and of itself, a mystery, with no consistent form or gender. Its followers revel in the acts of creating and unraveling mysteries.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Yes, it's so interesting when hundreds of kith die so Aethys can take a stroll.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You reap, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Aethys is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Aethys is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
Aren't you worried?
No. He is a creature of the pack, left long alone. Without our strength behind him, he is weak.
If you say so, but I fear what he tries to achieve.
If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aethys does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest.
I don't completely agree with Andra, but I am more on Andra's side than not worrying at all.
The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half grimace.
If Aethys has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long steel gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety.
The other gods don't seem too concerned.
He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Eora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
I think you should seize this opportunity to slow him while you can. There might not be another chance.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the pallid night stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time.
You again.
Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts.
What could Aethys possibly gain by destroying Eora?
Aethys seeks a slate wiped clean.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
I'll do my best.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Barath's realm, and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
Strange that even the other gods besides Barath feared Rimgaran. What an experience. I've got a lot to think about, especially about why I'm agreeing to help Barath to begin with.